Hi everyone, hello, this is Dr. Juliet Singler, and I'm talking to you today about art, song, and instrumental music in the Romantic era. So there are 5 composers that we're going to look at this week with musical samples from each. The first is Franz Schubert, a German composer of art songs. Clara Wieck Schumann is the second composer, and she was a very gifted pianist as well as a composer. The third is Frédéric Chopin, and he was a Polish-born composer who moved to France. Felix Mendelssohn is the fourth, and Hector Berlioz is the fifth, both of those instrumental composers. Let's start with Franz Schubert. Schubert was an enormously prolific composer. He wrote over 600 songs in his short lifetime, less than 35 years that he lived. So he was sort of the Ed Sheeran of his generation, really gifted composer. And what happened in the Romantic era is that we had a growing middle class. So this growing middle class enabled people to have more free time. So just like today, every household has a television set or a smart computer that allows them to connect to entertainment, every middle class household in that era had a piano. And people would get together for dinner and to socialize and also to play music. So there was a great demand for these wonderful art songs like Franz Schubert was composing. The song that you're going to listen to is called The Erlking, or in German, Erlkönig, and it is wonderful at showing you how beautiful the piano was, how capable the piano was in this era, because it had moved from its ancestor, the harpsichord, which had no dynamic capability because the strings were plucked. It was sort of like a guitar in that way, to its modern capabilities of having a very large range and strings being struck by a hammer, which allowed for greater loudness and softness, dynamic variety. So the piano in this song takes a really wonderful role. It plays a part in telling the story, and it's up to you to listen to it and tell me about the role that it takes. The second composer, Clara Wieck Schumann, very important because she was a child prodigy, just like Mozart. She was taught by her father, who was a great piano teacher, and he was also the piano teacher of her future husband, Robert Schumann. So it's wonderful to listen to her work and imagine her as a wonderful pianist who toured all over Europe, and then also a composer. She and Robert wrote songs for each other, and you can hear the love come through in their work. The third composer, Frédéric Chopin. Chopin, this is another neat thing that's happening with the piano at this time and with romantic music in general. It's a time of extreme contrast of works that include high emotional appeal, and they go to extremes. Sometimes they're very bombastic, sometimes they're very intimate. And composers also wrote works that were very long and also very short and intimate at other times. Frédéric Chopin was a composer who's known for writing more intimate piano works. And you're going to hear in his Nocturne a different personality for the piano of that era. Felix Mendelssohn, another important composer, and he was known for some innovations that he made, and you'll hear in this instrumental work that he uses the soloist in a unique way and places the solo section in a unique place in his work. And he also has special instructions. So you're going to have to tell me, by listening and reading your textbook, what is unique about the placement of the solo passage, and also how he makes sure that the soloist plays what he wants. Hector Berlioz is the last composer that we're taking a look at this week, and Berlioz, this is a magnificent way to end the week because he wrote this amazing, amazing work, Symphonie Fantastique, the Fantastic Symphony, and it was all based on his love for this beautiful Shakespearean actress of his time. Harriet Smithson was her name. And since she was a Shakespearean actress, he wrote the work in 5 movements because Shakespeare's plays are written in 5 acts. And so instead of the usual 4 movements that you would hear in a symphony, this symphony has 5. It's a programmatic symphony, which means it tells a story. So you're going to tell me about the story that it is relating, especially in this particular movement at the end, the 5th movement, the Witch's Dance, the Witch's Sabbath. And it's a great way to celebrate October, isn't it? Because it has an element of the macabre. So enjoy listening to Symphonie Fantastique and have a great week. And I will be back here with you soon.